Hello everybody, Mentor Lawyer on the channel Dan Markel's Murder Saga. I already did a live video on Deep Dive True Crime talking about day 2 of jury selection in the Donna Adelson case. This is actually just a chat with me, just you and I. I'm going to drink some mate from Argentina, like Messi likes to do just before his soccer games. And if anybody shows up, you can ask me questions. So that's the beauty of a very small channel where nobody knows about this channel. So you can have a one-on-one with me, whoever is there. Let me set up my mate. I don't know if you guys know, but my parents are from Argentina, so that's where I learned about mate. And I hadn't drank it for a long time, maybe like 40 years. Then I went on a trip to Orlando and I went to an Argentinian restaurant called Alma. Bought some alfajores Habana there, delicious. And then I was talking to the ladies at the restaurant. I said, hey, you know what? I see that metal thing for the mate. How much is that? And then I got the mate. That's the mate. And here I go. I'm going to be drinking some. Hey guys, so what is your opinion of Donna's choice of clothes? I'm not, I think it's two things, right? One is that's all that was available. And obviously I don't think that's true. You saw how Charles Adelson was dressed. So Donna's trying to avoid that mistake, it seems, right? So Charles Adelson was dressed like sharp guy, like a professional. And I think that that's the proper approach. Dress like who you are. Be genuine. Be yourself to the jury. Don't try to start deception from day one. So this is a rich lady who can afford a pretty big defense team. There's several people at the defense table. Why the heck are you going to be dressing, like crap? That makes no sense. You're being disingenuous from day one. So that's my thoughts. I would never do that. I'll tell my client to dress normal, not flashy, but respectful of the court. That's okay to dress well. That's who you are. Be yourself. Be genuine, because it's all about trust, especially in a case where it's all going to be about explanations after explanations and after explanations. I mean, let's talk about what the heck is the defense going to do, right? What they're going to do is they're going to attack the state's evidence. Obviously, the state doesn't have a lot of evidence about Donna's involvement in the planning of the murder, right? We know that Donna is going to go with the extortion defense in the sense of, I think she might try to help her son too. Not just that she didn't know, but that it actually happened. I think she's going to go with that strategy. Because, hey, my boy, you didn't get it right. Let me show you how you should have done it. So, it's a little hot. So I think, number one, right, they're going to try to, if we go by the history of how Charles Adelson handled the case with Dan Rushbaum, obviously they're going to try to not do the same mistakes, but I see some indications that they're going to go in the same direction. They might try to say, hey, listen, Donna Adelson was planning to come visit Tallahassee for a huge celebration 3 weeks later. So, of course, she wasn't involved in the murder. Or Donna Adelson was doing this and that. Okay. Or she could, if she had been directly involved in the murder, she would have done things differently, like, et cetera, right? So try to show some evidence from her writings, from her calendar, from her emails, from her texts, from all that. Try to pick stuff that may make her look like she wasn't involved in any kind of murder, that she was just having her normal time. And of course, everybody knows that there was no guarantee that the killers, the dummy people that they hired, would be successful, right? So why wouldn't you be planning things as normal? Nothing's guaranteed. They had already failed once. They had already gone in June and didn't do the murder. So would Charlie come through or not with his band of killers? Nobody knew. So they're gonna try to explain things away, I think, quite a bit. I think that she definitely will be taking the witness stand. I mean, unless the state has a total disaster, right, and doesn't have any evidence at all, and it all crumbles down, it seems like they're geared for her to take the witness stand to save the Adelsons, just like Charles Adelson was trying to protect all of them, right? And they have the benefit of Charles Adelson's trial. So what is the thing that all the Adelsons have in common that I've seen so far? It is one thing. And now we have evidence even from Harvey, right? Is they just don't get a good feel for how can I explain it? I don't have a great saying for it, but they're out of touch. They're all out of touch. Maybe that's the best way to put it, right? Wendi on the witness stand, she thinks that she sounds credible and looks credible, and that her explanations and responses all make sense and make her look like a saint or whatever. Okay, but she looks guilty as heck every single time. Yeah, they can't read the room. That's perfect. Thank you. Out of touch, can't read the room. Thanks, Rob. I appreciate it. You know, I grew up in 3 countries, so sometimes I can't find those, phrases and stuff to express some of my thoughts. So I appreciate that, Rob. So they can't read the room, right? Harvey with his waving at the smiling and waving at the camera woman, kind of creeping her out. You know, it's kind of creepy. You know, she probably felt a little scared. She's like pulling up her camera to go take a photo of the guy as they're supposed to be. We are supposed to all be walking out of the courtroom. I'm right behind her, okay? And she pulls up the camera, and the guy goes, you know, it's like, come on, dude, you're out of touch. Don't you know that that's going to be ridiculed on the media? I mean, seriously. We already heard Donna's explanations at the bond hearing, and gosh, she's out of touch. Who's going to believe that she's going to Vietnam on a vacation? Okay, I mean, come on. Own up what you did, okay? You felt that that this was a totally unfair system of justice where an innocent son of mine has just been convicted. We think that the media is putting pressure on the prosecutors to keep charging Adelsons, and that I was next. So yeah, we decided to get the heck out because we're innocent, and so is Charlie. And we wanted to take some time off and regroup and plan what is our next step in our life and how we're going to help Charlie out of this mess because he's innocent. No, tell the lie. Oh, we were just going on a vacation. You know, it was Charlie's idea. I mean, it was Harvey's idea, really. Come on. Seriously? I grew up in Argentina and Brazil. I was born in Los Angeles, California. When I was 3, my family and took me to Buenos Aires, Argentina. Buenos Aires, Argentina. That's how I learned to be generic messy. I lived in Argentina for a few years. Only 3. And then age 7, so maybe 3.5, at age 7, we moved to Curitiba, Brazil, where I lived for most of my youth, from age 7 until age 16. Okay? Institute, not institution, institute. Yeah, that's a good question, Alias. Why do they call the Adelson Institute? Anyway, yes, Buenos Aires is very beautiful. So I lived in Buenos Aires, and I lived in Curitiba, Brazil. It's also very beautiful. And then came back to the United States, but instead of California, we came to Florida. So in this chat, I'll definitely answer some questions, but I'm planning to do some work. And there's only a few of you guys, and I'm not trying to be offensive, but I'm trying to do that video. I don't know if you were in the live chat that I did on Deep Dive True Crime just now with Kate, but I decided before I go to sleep that I should redo that jury selection video from the Charles Adelson case. I picked on episode 2 and redo it and improve it and republish it on Deep Dive True Crime so you guys can watch it ahead of the beginning of the trial tomorrow morning. So don't you think that's a cool idea? Then if you think so, I need to get to work. But if you guys have questions, I'll talk to you. So we'll do 3 things. We're going to edit a video together. We'll drink some mate. And I'll answer questions. Is there any way that I can... Does anybody want to join in and be on this thing? Maybe alias, I don't know. And then you read the questions and say, hey, James, or hey, Mentour Lawyer, answer this question while I'm working. Do you want to do that? Anybody wants to be a guest host or co-host? Any volunteers? How do you think the judge will rule on the last name change of Wendi to Dan's? Okay, that's a great question by Lindsay. So this morning we did a video where we increased the sound. It was horrible from the original. So the issue was the prosecution asked for clarification on a ruling from the judge from a prior motion eliminated regarding the admissibility of the evidence about the change of the name of the 2 children of Dan Markel from Markel, the last name, from Markel to Adelson. They also lost their middle name. And I think the argument was that this is all about Wendi and not be about Donna. So today, Georgia Kappelman brought this up again, asked for clarification on the ruling, then talked about the fact that there's some evidence linking Donna Adelson to the change of the names of the boys. At least an email from Donna to Wendi referring to the kids as Adelsons rather than Markels. And so I personally think that goes to the issue of motive and should be admissible. So the probative value is not humongous, but is okay, and it goes to motive. So I think it should be allowed. Nothing too prejudicial about that. So that's my personal opinion. I think he'll allow it. So yeah, none of them can read the room. Certainly Charles Adelson couldn't read the room. He thought that all his explanations were wonderful. Donna Adelson can't read the room. Or what was the other term? I forgot what I said. Or she's also out of touch from her answers from prior hearing. And hey, your dad grew up in Rio. I play a lot of soccer, and I still play soccer. I played soccer yesterday. Scored 2 goals, had 2 assists. And we have a couple of Brazilians that play with us. And when I lived in Curitiba, I had a great time, but they always called me gringo, and I would play with the foreigners. So it would be the foreigners against the Brazilians, except when I played, of course, for the high school team. Is Josh Zellman considered the top defense attorney? I would say that Josh Zellman is not considered a top defense attorney. What he's considered a solid attorney, a good attorney, but he's not a guy that, for example, that I would know as like regularly doing criminal trials, right? So he's like a solid lawyer who was wavering between doing civil cases, criminal defense, like never had a solid, like, this is my area of where I'm going to succeed and stuck to. So when I had a case with Judge Selman, he was in a civil case. He was representing a plaintiff in a wrongful death case, and I was representing the defendant. It was a horrible case about an accident where a truck was going into a gas station, and because of the design of the gas station, allegedly from the plaintiffs, the truck went into the wrong entrance and then had to stop because there was an entrance for cars, and then there was a sign saying go to the next entrance for trucks. This truck didn't see this small sign, went into the car entrance and then had to stop. And then there was this pickup truck coming, and the man who was driving wasn't able to stop and turned to the left, and the cabin went under the truck. The passenger side of the cabin went under the truck, and the young 18 or 19-year-old girl was killed. So he was representing the family of that young lady. And this was just before I left a big law firm that I worked for. So we dealt with each other for about a year, and then he continued the case for some time. And I know that they had won that case, but in the end were not able to collect because everybody died. So like there were no survivors left or something like that. There was some, so but in my experience with him, he was a great guy, great lawyer, smart guy. But I never seen one trial with him where he was the lead attorney at a trial. So I don't know how good he's going to be. But this is Jackie Fulford's trial. She's going to be the main lawyer. She's the main lawyer in this case as far as the trial goes. She's a former judge, former prosecutor with a ton of experience. So there's no doubt that she's going to be the lead counsel. If you redo it, are you going to leave the old one up, or are you going to just post both of them? I'm going to redo it, and the old ones I have taken down. So what I did is I spent a ton of money. I got all those original low quality videos. I published them, and nobody wanted to watch them. And so because I know that so many people go to my channel and grab my content and then do reactions or whatever, I eventually just made them private or members only or something like that. So they're going to stay members only. And probably just publish them tomorrow morning, and then I'll put it back to members only. Sorry, guys, but I got to protect my investments. So that's what I do. Excuse me. Hey, JPJ, drive safely. Centaur. Hey, Mentour Lawyer. That's a new one. I heard Mentor Lawyer. That's pretty good, but Mentour Lawyer? Yeah, let's go with that too. I have thick skin, so I don't get offended too easily. I'm not sure you're trying to offend or make a joke, but doesn't bother me. Donna's clothing is from Kmart. Yeah, does Kmart even exist anymore? Hey, look at Matt played Dan Markel in our movie The Hitman Option. I'm sure you never heard of this movie because it's a movie that I made that not very many people watch, but it's called The Hitman Option, and it is a reenactment of Wendi Adelson's divorce deposition, and we had Matt playing Dan Markel. He actually did a great job, and he actually looks a little bit like Dan Markel. At least he did on the video. He even got glasses that matched, that made him look even more like Dan Markel. Have you seen Wendi's podcast? Of course. We have not only heard Wendi's podcast, but we reenacted it. I mean, if you're new to us, if you're new to Deep Dive True Crime, Mentour Lawyer, Justice Network, and this channel, Dan Markel's Murder Saga, then you don't know that I have probably over 1,000 videos about this case. Literally over 1,000. Maybe you can spend hours just looking through it, and you're going to find 150 gems of amazing stuff. I had a real actress from New York. She's actually doing really well as an actress. She's doing so well that she no longer can do little projects for us. Her name is Sarah Priebus, and she played Wendi Adelson, and we did a reenactment of Wendi's podcast. Should I include that as well in the video that I'm supposed to be doing right now, but I'm talking? Maybe we should do that. I've included that on a few videos. But yeah, we have that on our channel. Sula, is it normal for the defendant to be choosing a jury and be looking like a lawyer. Can she object to juror? Yes and no. The defendant is consulted throughout. The defendant helps pick the jury. The attorneys, especially the smart ones, because they want to avoid any kind of claim of ineffective assistance, will actually ask their client, hey, we're going to strike this one or keep that one. Are you okay with that? So totally normal to do that. Do you think Tim Jensen, that's misspelled, is a planned on survivor, the survivor? He was the lawyer that claimed they offered Donna to walk if she gave up Wendi. I can tell you that I'm disgusted by some of the guests on that show, and Tim Jensen is a very nice guy, good lawyer. I actually covered some of the other trials that he did. I covered the trial of a young lady who was killed in an accident involving a car driving into a river, and their defendant's name was Rushing. So I showed his trial. I liked him. I see him all the time. We say hello. But I am disgusted by what he did because it seemed, I think that Tim Jensen is Tim Jensen. Like Tim Jensen, I'm going to I'll write it so that you can understand what I mean. Tim Jensen, and people get mad sometimes. I talk about other content creators, and this is not. I'm not attacking people. He doesn't even have a YouTube channel, right? He's appeared as a guest on a show, and he's appearing in all the media outlets. He's been interviewed by WTXL, WCTV. I have no personal beef with Tim Jensen at all. Okay, I like the guy. He's a good guy overall. What seems to be okay. All right, and obviously he has a lot of experience as a trial lawyer, although he's probably hasn't done trials already for a while, and I think that he's like just in the end of his career and just trying to become a media personality more than anything else. So I think that what he did was disgusting, and personally, I don't think as an ethical attorney I would ever do something like that. Right? That somebody came to me and gave me a tip or whatever. It's bullshit to just a couple of days before trial to go out there and start talking about it as if it is a fact, something that is so offensive to both sides, but primarily to the state, right? To suggest that they have a shitty case against Donna, that they are all desperate to get Wendi. Those are the themes that maybe the defense is going to have, right? They're going to try to say that this is all a media-driven case. So I don't know if he's a plant, if anybody pays. I'm not interested in any of that without any evidence. Nobody should be suggesting anything unethical. I just think that whatever reasons he has, whether he likes the attention, he likes to be on the media, he likes to be on camera, whatever it is, he's making some very poor judgments. Very poor. And yet, people keep giving him the platform even more. So he's happy with that. I am unhappy, but who am I, right? I'm sure that Ruth Markel and Phil Markel are also upset, okay, that something like that would be done. I think it's disgusting, but I think I said enough about that. So. Gee, I'm supposed to be working. You guys have too many good questions. Fulford has been lead defense for murder before? I don't know that. She definitely was lead prosecutor for murder. I don't know about defense attorney, but she has been around. So when she was removed from the bench, it was at a time, like a couple of years after she was removed from the bench. That's when I did for a couple of years. For 2.5 years, I went back and did some criminal defense work after I left that big firm that I was working for. I signed up on the conflict list and I did some criminal defense work. So I would go to the usual docket callings, whatever, when there's a lot of defendants, and she would often be there. So she had cases. She wasn't just doing the funeral home. She has cases and criminal cases. Now, did she have any major trials? I don't know. I cover a lot of major murder trials in Tallahassee that nobody knows about or cares about, and I have never seen her on one of those. So I'm not sure. Oh, Chelsea, come on. I actually think it's funny. Uh, Family members call me mentor lawyer all the time, so it's okay. And I'm sure that there's people doing typos, like for example, they can just be dictating and it will come out all. So I don't, please. If you're gonna be nasty, it's gonna be clear to me that you're gonna be nasty. Something like that is not nasty. Deep Dive True Crime has all the videos to bring you current on Donna Adelson trial. That's for sure. That's for damn sure. Yeah, that's how little Mario and I talk these days. So we joke a lot, and he likes it when I say, and maybe it's a little bit of a curse word, but whatever. So I say, that's for damn sure. And I got that from the Lee Child books with Jack Reacher. He likes to say, that's for damn sure that I'm going to break your bones. Something like that. Anyway, don't lawyers usually stick to facts rather than rumor? I didn't like. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. What is derivative use? Well, we should ask ChatGPT that. What is derivative? So, use and derivative use immunity. It's not just that they cannot use the actual. So let me back up so people understand the question. So the question that Sula is asking is about the immunity that is given to state witnesses, like Wendi Adelson. So when she gets on the witness stand, she's protected by this immunity that allows her to testify without feeling that she would plead the fifth, right, if she's worried about prosecution, and she announced that. But if she's under state subpoena, she can go on the witness stand and testify, and what it means is they cannot use that particular statement against her in a future case. But not only that, but also evidence derived from what she says. So if she says things on the witness stands, I keep messing that up, on the witness stand, that lead detectives to think, I gotta go check that. I gotta go talk to that witness that we never heard about before. Let's go talk to that witness. And now, oh my gosh, this witness actually knows that Wendi was involved. But, oh shit, we only knew about this witness because Wendi testified at the trial. So now, the state of Florida, who never would have gotten to that witness without Wendi testifying on the witness stand, cannot use not only Wendi's statement on the witness stand, but also cannot use the information that they gathered from a witness that was only identified from Wendi. Now, if the state can prove that this witness, they didn't go talk to this witness after Wendi testified because of Wendi, but this witness had already been identified and was on a long list of people that the investigators were still planning to talk to. So if the state can prove that this witness did not derive from Wendi's testimony, but was identified independently of Wendi's testimony, they can still use it. Was that a great explanation or what? I want to hear from you guys. Did that make sense? Answers, please. Top Cat 88. Do you think the defense is bluffing about possibly... Here we go. Top Cat 88. Do you think the defense is bluffing about possibly delaying their opening until after the state's case. Yeah, I think so. Well, it is hard to tell because I have no idea what they got up their sleeve. They could be bluffing. All right. What are the reasons why you would wait until after the state presented this case? Number one is you're totally an unprepared, unethical lawyer who hasn't prepared at all and have no clue about what evidence the other side has, the state has. So you're just going to wing it. And you don't have an opening statement yet. So let the state present its case. And then after I hear all this stuff, I'll come up with something and I'll say it then. All right. So that would be one reason, a funny reason, I guess, a sad reason. But it might work, especially if you had a very talented lawyer that likes to wing it. On the other hand, what strategic basis you would have for doing that? All right. If your defense doesn't depend at all on the state witnesses, if you're not going to build up your defense through the cross-examination of the state witnesses, but you're actually going to create this defense through your own witnesses after the state presents his case, where in essence, the jury is not going to be lost when you present your defense, where the jury would not be, okay, so let me back up for a second. You might want to present an opening statement in the very beginning if, for example, if when the jury is going to be listening to the questioning and answers of the state witnesses, including the cross-examination, you want the jury to understand the big picture of what the defense is doing so that the jurors can understand, hey, the defense just scored a point on their theory of the case. Here's 1 point, another point, 3 points with this witness. Boom. This defense did great on the cross-examination, and here's what they got from it. And now this is supporting the defense side. So that's the reason why you would give an opening in the beginning, is because you want the jury to have that different picture. So here's what the state says the evidence will show. But if you do the opening and then you say, well, actually, what the evidence will show is that Donna Adelson was not involved, that Donna Adelson had nothing to do with anything, that Donna Adelson only learned about the extortion after the fact, that this was an extortion, and that she helped pay because she was worried about her safety and her son's safety, so on and so forth. And this is all the evidence that is going to come in to show you that. Okay? And in my opening, if some of the things that I would list are going to be things that I'm going to get from the cross-examination of the state witnesses, then I think it's kind of important to give that guidance to the jury. Because you don't want to have the jury listening to evidence for 5, 6, 7 days, never having a clue what the heck is the defense going to present. You know, what is the defense? So I think it's really rare. I think it would be rare not to give an opening statement in the beginning in a situation where you are kind of you're not building a defense of just insufficient evidence, but you're actually going to say that something else completely different happened. So again, I don't have all the pieces to know if it is a bluff or not, but I would think it's unlikely that they're going to skip opening statements in the beginning, unless really they're not going to build much of their case in cross-examination. And we know that they will, because they're going to try to get things out of Luis Rivera. They're going to try to get things out of Wendi Adelson. So I think it's very likely that they're going to give an opening to give some guidance to the jury and not have the jury think guilt, 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 guilt for so many days. Of course, the jurors are instructed not to form an opinion until they hear everything. So, all right. Anyway, I'm not getting the work done because you guys are too good. Hi, Maya. Nice to see you. Charles Delta Whiskey. Will Donna take the stand? Yeah. Sure she will. Would you? And maybe even Charles, if he doesn't mind giving more ammunition to the prosecution in a retrial that he will never get anyway. So he may also do it. I already answered this question, Charlie. Sorry if I'm making some weird sounds, but I'm drinking some mate. Chelsea Diaz, hypothetically speaking, if you have a state witness, they were granted immunity from the state, and then there was a grand jury trial. They plead the fifth. When there was a grand jury trial, they plead the fifth. What immunity was offered? I'm not following the question. Sorry, Chelsea, but the grand jury is something totally different. It's a group of people that are picked and they serve for like a year or so, and they help issue indictments. So the prosecution presents the evidence, and then they decide if there's enough to charge somebody with first-degree murder. So I don't know what you mean by that. I can tell you that if the witness testified for the state under a subpoena, whatever the person said cannot be presented to the grand jury. Well, I'll tell you what. Vampire says that I was the first channel to cover this case, as far as I could tell, and that is incorrect. Obviously, there were the big channels that existed already, like Law and Crime Network and so on and so forth, and they cover every single trial possible. So I do remember back in 2019 that certainly some of the big channels were showing the trial, because that's how I started covering it. I was on vacation. Our disabled son was sick. I was staying at the home while everybody else went to have fun. So I was watching the trial and doing commentary in the evening. So, but yeah, I mean, nowadays the media room right now is like a zoo of people. There's like a ton of different people that have come to cover the trial. So a lot more competition these days, that's for sure. So we have obviously going to be investing a lot of money into covering this trial, and I think that the views will be diluted significantly because there's so many channels that are covering it. So hopefully we'll break even. I'll be happy if we break even. You are 20 minutes behind. All right. Question, Chelsea Diaz. When you subpoena witness and your state witness and you're the state, is immunity already implied, or do you formally get? No. Yeah, every state witness that is compelled to testify gets that immunity. All right, that's a good question. I don't understand why Harvey has been put on the witness stand and questioned. Why do you think they keep passing on using him to testify? Didn't this give you a clue? I think that it's a win for the defense if he doesn't take the witness stand. He obviously is quite a bit older. I think he's in his 80s now. I don't know how sharp he is. And the state and the defense had made a deal at Charles' trial not to subpoena and force Harvey to answer questions. and in exchange he wouldn't testify. Maybe they have a similar agreement in this case, because the state could have subpoenaed him for an investigatory interview, but they didn't. So at least as far as we know, they haven't done that. So there may be an agreement behind the scenes, but it could be a win-win for everybody, because I don't think that he would be a good witness for the defense. And I think that if the defense story is going to be a lie, which I think a lot of people expect it to be a lie, then having two people try to tell the same lie, there's going to be a lot of inconsistencies. So you better have just one person or two. You're already going to have Charlie and Donna potentially, given their stories, although their story is going to be a little different. I mean, the only thing that they have to match is how they explain what Charlie told Donna after the murder, when he supposedly revealed the extortion. Aliases remember the opening statement by Mr. Dan Roshbaum, which was, hey, talking about somebody who cannot read the room. I was disappointed. I think that, Dan Roshbaum is skillful. He's intelligent. He learned a huge amount of, processed a whole bunch of information, but he wanted to be, I think somebody said he's like one of my favorite movies, My Cousin Vinny. Like, he wanted to be the hero. He was like just over the top with his cross examinations, and did not feel the room. Didn't really understand how his client's position was going to be perceived by others. But it wasn't. He's definitely smart and talented. I mean, he speaks well. He forms his questions well. Although he seems to enjoy using curse words in his questions, which I thought was like silly almost, So thanks, Shelly, for joining Patreon if you're here. I need to, guys, do you mind giving me a second so I can set up that video real quick? And then I'll put it to render, because you guys are just so good. Your questions are awesome. So give me a minute. I'm super fast at making videos. You can actually watch me do it. I'm going to set up a video in 3-4 minutes. Oh, shoot. I forgot to do multitasking. And I screwed up. Oh, my gosh. All right. All right. I already invited somebody else, Alias, if you wanted to be on the show, whatever. I guess you have to have something that you can, you have to have like a Zoom setup, right? With a camera and microphone if somebody wants to host. But I guess I could just put you guys, put a video for you guys to watch for 5 minutes while I why don't I find, somebody wanted to know about the podcast. So let's find that video. I'll show it to you guys. Podcasts. Let's see. Let's see the Wendi Adelson podcast. Mm-hmm. One second. I'm trying to find the video. Is this it? Oh, shoot. What was that? What channel is this? Oh, I see. One second, guys. I'm going to give you something good to watch. Just give me a minute. Okay. So that can work. I mean, I got to eventually.
So she's just enough.
There we go.
The pause and rewind button and or whether we will left without murder. The layer
not guilty. And with that
are shown as evidence why I should be treated like avoidable. The words in cash
mind works very fast and he reaches a decision. What is it? And what?
All right, here we go. I got some for you guys. Thanks for being patient. This is cool. You're gonna like it, guys. This is cool. That's Sarah Preep. It's gonna be a little bit of Josh Dubin, and then hey, CC Orleans, nice to see you. A little bit of Josh Dubin, and then it's gonna be actress Sarah Priebus reading, I think, from the podcast. Here we go.
this man has pled not guilty. And with that plea, he's saying, I didn't do it. And stands here accused of a crime.
In casual conversations, I don't know whether to call him my ex-late spouse or my late ex-spouse, except that late ex-spouse sounds like latex spouse. You asked, how are we doing really? And I was shaking from head to toe. And I thought, okay, let's just do this. Let's just dive in. I never planned to do it. It just felt unavoidable. The words kind of just flew out of me. But then when I was done, I sat there and I couldn't look anyone in the eye. And I was sweaty and I just thought, okay, now I've done it. Now it's out there. Now what? On July 18th, 2014, someone shot my ex-husband in the head while he was pulling into our garage after he dropped our then 3- and 4-year-old sons off at school. I only found out this information when the police picked me up from a lunch date I was having with 2 girlfriends and insisted that I come with them back to the station, and then interrogated me for 8 straight hours because it's usually the ex-wife. Last July, someone, and we still don't know who, shot my ex-husband point blank in the back of the head as he pulled into our garage after driving our then 3- and 4-year-old sons to preschool. It feels sacrilegious these days even to suggest something less than heroic about my late ex-husband because he was murdered. He died violently and young, and likely at the hands of a professional killer. George Stephanopoulos saying my name in reference to our acrimonious divorce, and a picture my friend took when I was her maid of honor shown as evidence why I should be treated like a murder suspect and not the mother of 2 fatherless boys. My mom and I have lived together for almost a year. She's selfless, generous, loving, and beautiful. She thinks she is fat. She once got turned down from Weight Watchers because she didn't have enough excess weight to be admitted to the program. She thinks she is stupid. My mom, who won the New York Spelling Bee for middle schoolers when she was only in the 6th grade. I am so many of the things I am because of who my mom is and who she wants me to be. I was valedictorian of my high school. She seemed proudest that I graduated high school still a virgin. It felt unfair that I couldn't at least tell my own story, that the story got told for me. So I think there was an aspect of empowerment of being able to say, no, this is my side of the story. This is what things look like from my perspective. Danny used to tell me that everyone thought that I was such a nice person and such a good person, but he was the only one that knew the truth about what a bad person I was. He was convinced I had deluded everyone but him. It felt unfair that I couldn't at least tell my own story, that the story got told for me. So I think there was an aspect of empowerment of being able to say, no, this is my side of the story. This is what things look like from my perspective. Danny used to tell me that everyone thought that I was such a nice person and such a good person, but he was the only one that knew the truth about what a bad person I was. He was convinced I had deluded everyone but him.
Can you do your own?
I can hear my thing. That's my thing.
They call me a god. They call me a god.
Thanks for watching, and thank you for all your support.
Thank you so much for 100,000 subs.
I can hear my thing. That's my thing.
Markel's mind works very fast, and he reaches a decision. What is it?
Sorry, guys, but I enjoy Sarah Priebus too much. I want to watch that again. I'm going to give you a little background. Hey, Zulu, nice to see you. I see a lot of friends here who are coming back. So the background is that this podcast happened less than a year after the murder. So Wendi Adelson is living in the high rise in Miami with her kids down in South Florida. She wants something fun to do, interesting to do. She's already a published author, but she decides to take a writing class. And in this writing class, they're all working on a podcast. And so somebody prompts the question about, hey, how are you doing? And really tell me exactly how you're doing. So I think a lot of people were kind of like dealing with Wendi and knowing that her ex-husband had been murdered, and like maybe that was the context of the podcast. She's supposed to explain how she really feels about this whole situation and how people treat her and stuff like that. So that's the context of that podcast interview that she gave. It's actually with her. You can actually listen to her. I think when I did the original video, I actually even put a link to the actual podcast. You can hear Wendi Adelson say those things. Sarah Priebus was given a copy of it in the transcript. I sent it to her. I paid her to play Wendi Adelson, and she did a great job. So my darn computer, as I'm trying to work on the video for tomorrow morning, decided to crash, so I had to restart it. So I'm going to play it again while I do the video real fast. But first, I'm going to answer this one question that I saw. So I had a question about the condo that Harvey and Donna rented for Wendi in Miami. I heard he put down a lot of money for that. Has that come out in trials? Okay, so that has not come out at trials before. It was disclosed in discovery in this case against Donna Adelson. It is I don't think it's accurate to, the way that you phrase it, you say that Harvey and Donna rented for Wendi. That is an argument, right? That is an argument that is being made. I guess it's going to be made by the prosecution. The defense is likely going to say, no, I mean, even if we rented it so that for Wendi, it was not for Wendi to come after Dan Markel was murdered. It was a situation where Wendi got divorced. She was coming down with the kids quite a bit. We wanted to have some cool place to live where it was safe for the boys to have fun and have pools, have all this stuff, be right at the beach. And yeah, we put a lot of money because, we have a lot of money. And so we decided to do this. And it's a very nice and safe place that whenever the boys and Wendi were coming over, which was often, they could stay with us there. But they were also themselves also living in this place. And of course, the theory from the state is going to be that they got this place in anticipation of hopefully the murder happening, the hit being successful, and Wendi moving down, and then helping the boys forget quickly about the loss of their father because they're just having so much fun, right? So I think that's going to be the how the prosecution is going to present it. But it hasn't come up yet before because I don't know, it just hasn't. It's something that was disclosed, I believe, after Charlie's conviction, if I recall correctly. And we cover that extensively here. All right, so let me play that again, and I can get to work because I do want to go home. So let me play that again.
And why
You guys are
did he choose?
doing a great job with your questions.
Liquor liquor store robberies. This man has pled not guilty. And with that plea, he's saying, I didn't do it. And stands here accused of a crime.
In casual conversations, I don't know whether to call him my ex-late spouse or my late ex-spouse, except that late ex-spouse sounds like latex spouse. You asked, how are we doing really? And I was shaking from head to toe. And I thought, okay, let's just do this. Let's just dive in. I didn't have a plan to do it. It just felt unavoidable. The words kind of just flew out of me. But then when I was done, I sat there and I couldn't look anyone in the eye. And I was sweaty and I just thought, okay, now I've done it. Now it's out there. Now what? On July 18th, 2014, someone shot my ex-husband in the head while he was pulling into our garage after he dropped our then 3- and 4-year-old sons off at school. I only found out this information when the police picked me up from a lunch date I was having with 2 girlfriends and insisted that I come with them back to the station, and then interrogated me for 8 straight hours because it's usually the ex-wife. Last July, someone, and we still don't know who, shot my ex-husband point blank in the back of the head as he pulled into our garage after driving our then 3- and 4-year-old sons to preschool. It feels sacrilegious these days even to suggest something less than heroic about my late ex-husband because he was murdered. He died violently and young, and likely at the hands of a professional killer. George Stephanopoulos saying my name in reference to our acrimonious divorce, and a picture my friend took when I was her maid of honor shown as evidence why I should be treated like a murder suspect and not the mother of 2 fatherless boys. My mom and I have lived together for almost a year. She's selfless, generous, loving, and beautiful. She thinks she is fat. She once got turned down from Weight Watchers because she didn't have enough excess weight to be admitted to the program. She thinks she is stupid. My mom, who won the New York Spelling Bee for middle schoolers when she was only in the 6th grade. I am so many of the things I am because of who my mom is and who she wants me to be. I was valedictorian of my high school. She seemed proudest that I graduated high school still a virgin. It felt unfair that I couldn't at least tell my own story, that the story got told for me. So I think there was an aspect of empowerment of being able to say, no, this is my side of the story. This is what things look like from my perspective. Danny used to tell me that everyone thought that I was such a nice person and such a good person, but he was the only one that knew the truth about what a bad person I was. He was convinced I had deluded everyone but him. It felt unfair that I couldn't at least tell my own story, that the story got told for me. So I think there was an aspect of empowerment of being able to say, no, this is my side of the story. This is what things look like from my perspective. Danny used to tell me that everyone thought that I was such a nice person and such a good person, but he was the only one that knew the truth about what a bad person I was. He was convinced I had deluded everyone but him.
Can you do your own?
I can hear my thing. That's my thing.
They call me a god. They call me a god.
If he lets the man finish the job, what will
I
be of the
definitely
boys?
miss having Ladybug around.
What about his
She was
parents?
so much fun.
His sister,
Great assistant. She did some awesome
How much
videos
will
in
they
this case, by the
suffer
way. Awesome
and the
videos.
loss of
Hey, CC,
their
nice to see
beloved
you.
son, brother. Markel's mind works very fast.
Thanks so much,
And he
CBC.
reaches
And
a decision.
yes, that's what she means. At the hands of
What
a
is it?
professional killer.
And
By
why
the way,
did
that's
he
a
choose
clue,
it?
right? That's a clue.
Liquor store robberies.
Because she said that before the
This
detectives
man
found
has
out that,
pled not guilty.
that Dan Markel had
And
been
with that plea,
murdered
he
by
said,
hitmen.
I didn't do it.
But of course, I mean, it
And
was pretty
stands
obvious
here
that he
accused
had
of a
been
crime.
targeted. So
In casual
Maybe it was some
conversations,
speculation
I
on
don't know
her
whether to call
part,
him
but
my
it also could
ex-late
mean that
spouse
she actually
or
knew.
my late
Just another one of the
ex-spouse.
50,000
Except that late
coincidences
ex-spouse
that show
sounds
that
like late
Wendi
ex-spouse.
likely knew
You
or
asked
was
how are we
involved.
doing
Let me go back, I'm
really,
sorry.
and I just
Sorry, keep listening.
If he lets
I've been
the
having a
man
nightmare with the
finish the
computer,
job,
so
what will be of the
Here we go.
boys? What about his parents, his sister?
all right.
How much
I'm
will
gonna
they
answer more
suffer
questions. I saw there was another
for the
one, good
loss
one.
of
Just let
their
me
beloved
do this
son,
video. There's
brother? Markel's mind works very fast and he reaches a decision. What is it? And why did he choose it?
Only liquor store robberies. This man has pled not guilty. And with that plea, he's saying, I didn't do it. And stands here accused of a crime.
in casual conversations, I don't know whether to call him my ex-late spouse or my late ex-spouse, except that late ex-spouse sounds like latex spouse. You asked how are we doing really, and I was shaking from head to toe, and I thought, okay, let's just do this. Let's just dive in. I never planned to do it. It just felt unavoidable. The words kind of just flew out of me. But then when I was done, I sat there and I couldn't look anyone in the eye. And I was sweaty and I just thought, okay, now I've done it. Now it's out there. Now what? On July 18th, 2014, someone shot my ex-husband in the head while he was pulling into our garage after he dropped our then 3- and 4-year-old sons off at school. I only found out this information when the police picked me up from a lunch date I was having with 2 girlfriends and insisted that I come with them back to the station, and then interrogated me for 8 straight hours because it's usually the ex-wife. Last July, someone, and we still don't know who, shot my ex-husband point blank in the back of the head as he pulled into our garage after driving our then 3- and 4-year-old sons to preschool. It feels sacrilegious these days even to suggest something less than heroic about my late ex-husband because he was murdered. He died violently and young, and likely at the hands of a professional killer. George Stephanopoulos saying my name in reference to our acrimonious divorce, and a picture my friend took when I was her maid of honor shown as evidence why I should be treated like a murder suspect and not the mother of 2 fatherless boys. My mom and I have lived together for almost a year. She's selfless, generous, loving, and beautiful. She thinks she is fat. She once got turned down from Weight Watchers because she didn't have enough excess weight to be admitted to the program. She thinks she is stupid. My mom, who won the New York Spelling Bee for middle schoolers when she was only in the 6th grade. I am so many of the things I am because of who my mom is and who she wants me to be. I was valedictorian of my high school. She seemed proudest that I graduated high school still a virgin. It felt unfair that I couldn't at least tell my own story, that the story got told for me. So I think there was an aspect of empowerment of being able to say, no, this is my side of the story. This is what things look like from my perspective. Danny used to tell me that everyone thought that I was such a nice person and such a good person, but he was the only one that knew the truth about what a bad person I was. He was convinced I had deluded everyone but him. It felt unfair that I couldn't at least tell my own story, that the story got told for me. So I think there was an aspect of empowerment of being able to say, no, this is my side of the story. This is what things look like from my perspective. Danny used to tell me that everyone thought that I was such a nice person and such a good person, but he was the only one that knew the truth about what a bad person I was. He was convinced I had deluded everyone but him.
Changing your own.
I can hear your thing. That's my thing.
They call me a god. They call me a god.
Thanks for watching and thank you for all your support.
Thank you so much for 100,000 subs.
Talking about fashion, definitely Mentor Lawyer needs to improve his game when it comes to fashion. Mentor Lawyer dresses like crap. So maybe it's because I don't get enough views, so I cannot afford nice clothes. So it looks like you guys need to help with that, right? Give me a lot of views so I can finally afford to go to TJ Maxx and buy myself a better t-shirt. Just kidding, of course. I'm just so frustrated. I usually take 2 minutes to do a video, but this has been frustration after frustration. So you guys have to give me a second here. I'm just doing an awesome video for you guys. It's going to be on Deep Dive True Crime. It's going to be coming. I don't know if I should publish it tonight or tomorrow morning. Maybe tomorrow morning would be better. Gayabara style shirts. Don't know what that is, Denton. You gotta send me a picture on your, put a picture on your Instagram of a Guyabara style shirt. Not TJ Maxx. Not TJ Maxx. Shit, I'm giving free advertisement. God damn it! I should charge for the 91 viewers to hear the name TJ Maxx here. All right, I'm kidding. So here we go. This is gonna be good, guys. I'm gonna make the volume louder so at least you can listen to what I'm doing.
Donna Adelson,
Can you guys hear this?
Harvey Adelson, Rob Adelson, Wendi Adelson, Amy Adler, Sergeant Sherry Bennett with the Tallahassee Police Department.
Can you hear?
Dr. Shelby
Hey, Moments.
Blank. Officer Bill Brannon, Tallahassee Police Department. Special Agent Louis Greg Bronstein. Special Agent Justin Karsten. Both of those officers are with the FBI. Dr. Anthony Clark. Sergeant Chris Corbett with the Tallahassee Police Department. Brock Dietz is with the Fire Marshal's Office. Investigator Michael Dillmore is with the Tallahassee Police Department. Ryan Fitzpatrick, Sigfredo Garcia, Jim Geiger.
So as you're hearing, I'm doing this video right now that I'm going to show how the jury selection process happened. Thanks so much, Zulu, in the Charles Adelson trial. This is like the very beginning of the group questioning and the first time that the prosecutor gets up. And the first thing that she's doing is she's going through all the witness list, all the people to find out, hey, do you know any of these people? I'm assuming you guys can hear what I hear, right? Okay, yes. Cece Orlean said she can hear clearly.
Detective.
So I'm improving the sound significantly on this video.
Guilty. Or lean toward guilt.
I'm actually going to also remove the image of the jurors a little bit. And I'm going to increase the quality of the image if I can. I have much better software these days, so maybe we can do that. Let's do that as well. Thank you so much, Zulu. You're amazing. Long-term helper of this channel. Zulu and Alias as well, of course. Thank you. Half a t-shirt. Yes, I remember, Zulu. Didn't you used to contribute to my squeaky chair fund? You see, you know how good of a lawyer I am. You got to know the details. And this guy Zuluzit hasn't been on my channel now for, I don't know. He shows up rarely these days. I guess he has been busy, which is totally normal. But he used to occasionally give me a donation for the channel, and he would call it I think the squeaky chair fund. Am I correct or incorrect, Zulu? Let's see how good my memory is. You go ahead and put that on the chat if you're still around. I hope you are. Yeah, we got the old crew. Yes, indeed. I'm correct. The squeaky chair fund. I still got the squeaky chair though. I don't know. I think I got a better one. I think that one just broke. It couldn't handle my excessive weight, unfortunately. I'm just, I'm an athlete that just weighs a lot. It's all muscle, though. Well, it's not. I wish it was all muscle, but. Okay, so. Hey, what the heck? This video at the end is me playing tennis. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to cut it out. Those days are far gone. Respect. All right, no tennis. I already learned my lesson. No tennis on these videos. Take it out. Let's take out the tennis. Although, hey, looks like it was a couple of good points here. I'm playing with Ladybug. Oh my gosh, definitely have to remove that. Oh my gosh, what a shot. What a shot. Is it Ladybug? Oh no, it's the reporter from the Tallahassee Democrat. Elena Barrera. Okay, I'm removing that. And shoot, this phone also crashed, so I'm gonna have to redo this. Anyway, any other good questions? I mean, you guys have been amazing with the questions. So while I'm fixing this video on my phone, let's see, can you hear this? Why is this frozen? Why is it not working? What the heck is going on with my phone? Gee, nothing freaking works. God damn it. Let's restart the phone again too. All right. Any questions, guys? Come on, you guys are just doing awesome. Oh, Potter64. I don't remember you, but I'm too old crew. Have you always had the name Potter64? I mean, I don't know. Zulu had things that there are several people that have been with me forever, like Richard Hybels. Too Deep has been around. CC Orleans, of course. How's your channel doing, by the way? CC has her own channel. Skeeter Girl has been around. Beach Bum hasn't been here recently, but she used to be. Lucy has been around quite a long time. I mean, I do remember you, but I don't remember anything specific. But Zuluzit is like a more catchy name. Potter64, it's okay, but I don't know. I do remember you. I do remember Potter64. What's the status of the local attorney that you featured on your channel? The one that were all white all over. All white. Chelsea, give me a little more detail because I'm not sure what you're talking about. Is it the interview that Ira Shuffle did with an attorney? Excuse me. With an attorney, Zach, who's a murder, like criminal defense attorney who does a lot of murder trials. Is that the one that you're talking about? I think he might, or is it the one who retired? There was one who retired, and he's still retired, if that's the one. We did a lot of civil cases. And talked about being involved in the Ted Bundy case. Also had done a lot of criminal appeals. It sucks that nobody watched Ira's show because it was awesome. I watched his interviews and I was so engaged. So, hey, what the heck's going on here? Did it move 2 inches to the left? No. Got an eye on you. There. You are nondescript, Potter. That's good. Hey, nondescript is good because it means that you never said anything outrageous. Is it true that Wakala jail inmates sleeping areas don't have AC? I think it's quite possible. There's a lot of jails and prisons that don't have AC. I've been to the Wakala County jail, but as an attorney, and I didn't go into the jail cells. You don't go into the jail cells. So I have no idea, honestly. I felt comfortable in the attorney-client interview room. I went in the middle of the night. I remember that. I had the first case over there, and I went there in the middle of the night to have a conference with my client. It was very nice and quiet. Okay, this sucks. My phone is just not working with me. Any other questions while I'm trying to fix all these issues and finish this video for you guys? And maybe I'll publish it tonight on Deep Dive True Crime. Any more questions about Donna? Let me play some of this while I'm working then here. That's Josh Dubin.
I disagree with the last thing people know my personal experience. When I was a police officer, when I was 24, 25, 6 old days, you know, it was that friend run happening. And I really went around in my head thinking, and all my friends thought, somebody must have got you here. Until the day that I was something I didn't do. And I wound up with quote unquote guns pointed at me.
I'm gonna pick up on this tomorrow. Ms. Brinkley, you sat up and just eating.
Yeah, I didn't go to my grandmother's funeral, and I didn't care what the rest of the had to say about it.
Why not?
Because I wanted to remember her the last time we had a conversation. I don't have no knowledge of her being in a casket. And there were other family members that, that's a shame, you shouldn't have done that. She raised you. Look, I don't care. I want to remember her the last time we spoke.
All right, now I'm gonna for your time. Yeah, I appreciate you very much. I'll be speaking with you again bright and early.
Okay.
Oh, I'll share some news. The Markels are coming tomorrow afternoon. So I haven't seen anybody sitting in the courtroom for the defense. I haven't seen anybody sitting there for the defense at all. But they reserved 2 of those benches for the defense. So
That's one thing. The facts of what will be presented as the evidence.
People out there that would hear that someone did not attend a funeral or memorial service and that they're standing trial for that person's murder and would say, you know what, I find that odd. And if I overstepped and didn't do it as a hypothetical, it certainly was not intentional to inject a fact. But there is little doubt that that is going to be evidence that's presented here. I thought that, in my mind, it was part of the theory of defense is that there was a reason why he didn't go to the funeral. It has nothing to do with him having been involved in any way with murder. Can assure the court I will be much more careful tomorrow and phrase it as hypothetical. Since Your Honor knows that deep respect for the court is not the consequences of objective.
Certainly a theory of defense. Testifies. But as far as getting specific facts, the evidence itself.
something is finally working. Thanks, Lola. I know I have to rest. I'm gonna go soon. Oh my gosh, it's already 1:25. Darn. It's just I'm telling you, the computer hasn't been working for me today. This has been nasty. You guys have any other questions? Okay. All right, so I'm downloading the video that I'm going to be using right now. attorney for SA. What is this question? The attorney for SA. Oh man, Amel, I need to get back. Of course, yeah, get back to work. No problem. Thanks for stopping by. You had a surprise baby boy. Congratulations. He's 1. Wow. You only had the boy who's 14. Yes. I hope everybody's well. I wish you the best, CC, and thanks for stopping by. Do you think they will ever have the kids testify? No. They were like 3 and 4, so no, they're not going to testify. They probably don't remember anything. And then that's funny. All right, so who thinks it was Donna's idea to change the kids' names? Donna was obviously generating tons of ideas, but I'll let other people answer while I finish the editing here. Finally downloaded. Okay, guys, final stretch. I'm gonna get this done. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Here we go. All right. There we go. Put it here. Let's fix the sound for you guys. Make it beautiful. Show you the end part where he talked about the plans. So you're gonna hear the original and you're gonna hear how I improve it. Here we go. All right, so let's see. I have so much going on in my own cases that I got to work on. It sucks that it's at the same time as I have this trial. But yeah, I'm being stretched thin here. Super tennis star, super soccer star, super lawyer, and super YouTuber commentator. And super family man. Stretched thin, that's for sure. That's for damn sure. Break delete. Let's increase the volume. You guys probably couldn't even hear it. This is the original sound from the courtroom. Horrible. So let's increase the sound. Let's do AI's voice isolation at about 75%. Let's change the channels to both on channel 1, channel 2. Let's see if we do channel 1. I think it's channel 2, the one that I'm supposed to use. Channel 1 is probably empty. Let's see. Channel 1. Yep. So channel 2. All sound on channel 2. So we can make a stereo for you guys. Channel 2. You get to watch me do the editing. Listen now.
Speaking with attorneys, we decided we would never see her back here. It's a joke. It's a joke. Tomorrow released. Jury selection tomorrow at any one given time. Again, the parties are to refer to. Are they going to be randomized based on
All right, that's it. Good. Here we go. Now I just gotta cut and paste and put it back in the beginning. I think I'm gonna put it in the beginning, and then no music on this one. Let's do that. Cut, ripple cut, ripple cut. Go back to the beginning. Gosh, this lawyer learn how to edit, people. You're getting to watch me do this video that is gonna premiere on Deep Dive True Crime tomorrow or tonight. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it tonight. Paste insert.
And the motion is limiting this feedback concerning the calls. I did review the calls yesterday. I am going to review them again. I don't know if I'm going to have time to debate your own.
Let's add some photos from the trial. This is good. You guys are gonna like this. It's gonna be a really good video. I will watch for a couple more questions while I'm waiting for this to render. It's gonna take a few minutes to render, so I can't go home yet. So if you guys want to hang around, you can ask me a few more questions in a few minutes. Give me a couple of minutes. And then we'll talk again.
At least the order on the motion to suppress and the motion is limiting this feedback. Will be read by Ms. Catherine. You may proceed.
I work fast, people. Don't worry. We're almost done. Almost done. You're gonna see how efficient I am. I'm doing this video at literally, whatever. Obviously, I had some technical issues that caused me a little delay, but this is gonna be done in a period of about 10-15 minutes, and you're gonna see the awesome result tomorrow. You'll see how good we are here at Deep Dive True Crime. Bringing you the best content with the best host. Who needs guests when you get the best host? All right. Done. I'm done, guys. That's it. And I'm gonna do the conclusion. And I'm going to add my logo, and we're done. Second. Logo right here. Let's make the last 40. Just a minute, guys. Sorry, I don't mean to make you wait around for no reason. You're welcome to leave, of course. I'll be right there if you guys want to hang out and ask me a couple more questions while the video is rendering. So just give me a minute. Almost done with an awesome video that's going to be coming your way very soon. All right, I think I'm done. Yep, I'm done. Now I gotta save it, so let me do that. YouTube, It's gonna be called voir. Okay. Done. Add to render queue, render all. Done. All right, guys, I'm yours. Now it's gonna take about 15-20 minutes. And so I'm yours. Ask me your questions. Zuluzit. Is it possible that any new evidence could be introduced which would give Charlie grounds for appeal? Generally speaking, new evidence wouldn't be grounds for an appeal, a direct appeal, because the direct appeal is from the record on his trial. So that's what the appellate court is going to be looking at. Did he get a fair trial? Did the judge make any errors about his trial? So they're going to look only at that record. New evidence could influence the ultimate factor in his case in the sense of a motion for post-conviction relief based on newly discovered evidence that couldn't have been discovered before, recanted testimony, things of that sort. So that, yes, it could happen that new evidence that couldn't have been discovered before somehow gets discovered and now can be used by Charles Adelson as well to support a motion for post-conviction relief. Sort of like, Katie Magbanua saying, the state paid me to lie or something like that. And I recant my testimony. That's one example. So is it possible that new evidence will come out? Well, I mean, if it already came out, he probably would have already been filing a motion. Is the new evidence going to come out during trial? We don't know. So each side has the right to conduct discovery. They shouldn't be too surprised, but of course there will be surprises. Each side has evidence, but each side has all the evidence, but we're probably talking about thousands and thousands of pieces of potential evidence, emails, texts, all the stuff, all those phone records that the state has poured through, and they have picked stuff that they're going to use. They might have looked at it with an eye looking at what the defense might use, but they may have not spotted all of it, right? So there could be surprises from the defense on stuff that they found in the data that could be used to support some kind of an argument. Doesn't prove that they're not guilty, but maybe could be used to support an argument. But I don't think they're going to find anything there that disproves what happened to Charlie, or that that the conviction was proper, right? That proves that he was extorted. And because if there was such evidence, I'm sure that Dan Roshbaum would have found it. I think that what actually the opposite is true. Dan Roshbaum preserved that surprise until the day of opening statements with the goal of precluding the state from digging through all the evidence to find pieces of evidence that could show that this is total bullshit. And now they have had more time and they have found probably more evidence, like that text supposedly between Donna and Charles about, hey, maybe those people, when Sigfredo and Luis were arrested, or after Sigfredo was arrested, some kind of a text between them. Sorry about the loud computer, by the way. A text between them where they're discussing, some alternatives other than the Adelsons hire them, right? And it wasn't anything about an extortion, but instead they were talking about, hey, maybe they'll figure out that this was like a drug deal gone wrong or something like that. I don't remember the exact words in that text, so don't quote me on it, okay? But good question. You guys, by the way, although I have been kind of rude on this small channel and I have kept you on the QT silent, hey, I just mentioned you and you appear. Look at that. Hello, Richard. I mentioned you a few minutes ago. Did I wake you up? You're in California, so I know that this is not a crazy time for you, but I should be going to sleep soon. What kind of microphone you got there, Mel? I think it's my daughter helped me pick it. A Rode microphone. I always had a crappy setup, but my daughter finally recommended to me what to get. So I got this Rode microphone and I got this audio box USB 96, and I finally learned how to use it 2 days ago. So now my sound is not horrible. My volume is not horrible. Hey, video is done. Now I gotta upload it to Deep Dive True Crime. I still haven't set up a thumbnail though, but all right, let me do that. I'm gonna upload it unless I see any more questions. I mean, that's gonna take a little while to upload, so just give me a second. Let me upload it to Deep Dive True Crime, and then we can do that. What's going on? Oh my gosh, why am I logged out of YouTube? Gee, just one crap after the next is happening. I don't know what the heck is going on here, people. Now I gotta check my device. I got logged out of YouTube. Everything's just making me not go to sleep. Yes, I do remember that, but I doubt, by the way, so the comment is, remember the kids told Dan that Donna called them stupid. I do remember that from the pleadings, but that doesn't mean that they'll remember that 10 years later. More than 10 years, 11 years later, right? I mean, they were kids. So, all right, I'm logged in. Let's go to Deep Dive True Crime. Main channel, Deep Dive True Crime. All right, so let's upload the video. Create. There we go. Any other questions, my friends? I am quite stretched, Richard. I will admit to that. I'm needing some rest already, and we haven't even started the trial. I got just a lot going. But I've been, like I said, I feel like this case is like my case, and so I wish I could just be a full-time YouTuber at least for this month. That would be nice for the trial, and didn't have to worry about any of my cases. Would make life a lot easier, that's for sure. That's for damn sure. All right, here we go. How about this title? Donna Adelson voir dire, in parentheses, group jury selection, preview. Charles Adelson trial. You guys like it? Or is it not clickbaity enough? Well, we suck at clickbait. That's for damn sure. We suck at clickbait. We do really well at bad sense of humor. Right, Zulu? All right. monetization on. I'm gonna let YouTube pick how many ads to put. They're usually pretty crazy, but otherwise it's too time consuming. But they go a little nuts sometimes. So I think that membership is worth it probably. I don't know why sometimes they put like video, like a commercial 1 minute into the video. It's like, are they trying to kill the video or what? It makes no sense. All right. This is uploading, so it's going to take a little while. 23 minutes predicted. Gee. So we can talk for a few minutes because I can't leave the office for 20 minutes now. I guess I could be doing. I'll do 5 more minutes, and then maybe I'll work on the thumbnail and so on and so forth. So, last chance for your awesome questions. Too deep. Okay, so you guys talking to each other. Is there any question? Richard, yeah, okay. I have been overworked for years. Yes, I have. All right, did I miss any questions, people? I'm going to go to the end. So ask your questions now. What time is it there? That's an easy question to answer. It's 1:47 a.m. I would add your local tally lawyer. Oh, like use the channel to advertise myself as a lawyer. I kind of, for my own credibility, decided not to do that from the very beginning, not to use the channel as a way to get clients. So didn't do that, but I would gladly promote somebody else if they'll pay me. Come on, people. We're looking for sponsors. $20,000, and every single video on this trial will have your law firm name on it. $20,000. Is that a good deal, guys? What do you think? Every single video. That would be nice. It would definitely cover our expenses. Yeah. We only had the sponsor one time for $500, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so much work for $500. Never again." Any other questions, guys? Otherwise, I'm gonna shut this down. Shut it down, and maybe use my sofa and fall asleep. And tomorrow, by the way, Maya is back. Maya is back tomorrow. So she's going to help with the stream on Thursday and Friday. That's going to be a relief for me, so I don't have to worry about coming in and out to make sure that the stream is working. She's going to do some other work. She's going to do some live interviewing. Kate is coming next week, starting on Monday. Well, she's going to come Sunday. But yeah, Maya's going to be there tomorrow. I told her to be dressed for the camera. I'm going to want her to do some work in the courthouse, outside, some summaries, short videos. We'll see. So I'll meet her tomorrow morning. I'll give her some training. She has never done a stream. She has seen me done it once before. So I have to give her some training. I'm sure they would never do that. They would never do that. This is a huge undertaking to do a trial. The question is, can they do a grand jury while to indict Wendi while they're doing that trial? There's no freaking way that they would do something like that. There's no way. They're concentrating on getting a conviction in this trial, and that's it. As far as during the trial. Amy Harris too nice. Please wear the half t-shirt to court. Oh, Yes, I'm supposed to buy a T-shirt with your donation. That's right. That's right. I'm gonna try to stop by a store. I won't say the name of the store tomorrow to get a couple of good T-shirts. Because what happens is that usually get a little spill of coffee, a spill of this, spill of that. It's like, gee, what's going on? Oh, come on to the. What about you sponsoring me, huh? Music production guy. We'll produce your music. Isn't that what you do? Don't you do music? So we'll promote your artists on our channel. So after every video on the Dan Markel case, we'll have a new artist playing some music. Do I recall correctly what you do, Too Deep? Isn't it something with music? Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm not wrong. Do you think Sarah will do the opening because she did in Charlie's? Yeah, I think so. I think she would. Oh, no. Of course, I'm not thinking about that. I thought about my post conviction questions on the spot last time around. So, did I have a good question? I don't remember. Everybody was asking, who's next? Who's next? Oh, I mentioned you before you arrived. No, what happened, Richard, was nothing bad is actually good. There are several people on this chat who have been long timers, right? So I suddenly saw like Zulu Zit, for example, who hasn't been around for a while. I saw CC Orleans, who hasn't been around for a while. So there's a lot of people who haven't been around on the channel for a long time who were here and who I consider like long-term supporters and long-term viewers of the channel. And so when I mentioned some of them, I said, oh, and I think I mentioned how I remember a joke that Zilly Zoot did one time when he donated some money and he said that it was for my squeaky chair fund. So I remember that. And then I said, oh, I do remember a lot of the original subscribers who have been with me for a long time. And then I mentioned Richard Highbells, Skeeter Girl, and a few others. So you were one of the people that I mentioned. So I, of course, remember you. Is this opening going to be the same verbatim as Charlie's? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Except for a lot of it will be similar, the part of describing the murder. But any good lawyer will always customize. So there's a lot of things that may be similar. You know, the whole story about how the murder happened, yes. But the portions about Donna will be totally different, of course. And there's going to be a reshaping of this because Charlie has been convicted since, because Charlie has presented this defense of extortion. So that's all going to be, there are going to be a lot of changes to the opening because of that. But good question, Ruben, Macon author. That was the question. Skeeter is around. She's doing well. Her husband is doing well. She was traveling yesterday and listening, so she's been watching. She's been around. You're welcome, Ruben. I think my mate is over. I don't have any more water. So guys, I think I'm gonna go. I still have 15 minutes left on this, but I saw that there was a highlight for Inter Miami, so I want to check it out. DePaul and Messi. I'm gonna have a mate, probably the last one. So I'm having my mate, and I'm gonna watch Inter Miami highlight. So why do I have several channels? Why? I don't know, because I'm crazy. I mean, honestly, my channels, when I first did Deep Dive True Crime, I was uploading all kinds of content. Every once in a while, I would do a video of me doing a beach soccer golf competition with myself, of one person soccer golf game, or I would do something completely out of the blue. And then I noticed, for example, that there were a lot of videos that would do really well, and there were a lot of videos that people hated and didn't watch, but I was still interested in those videos. And so I thought that, well, those videos that not many people watch, maybe I should put them on a different channel. And you can see, I think I did this before Law and Crime, but Law and Crime eventually actually did the same. They did a Law and Crime channel B, where they put some raw trials that maybe are not as followed as others. They have a channel where they do body cams. So I know that in YouTube, the algorithm tries to figure out what kind of channel you are. Depends a lot on the content, depends a lot of the consistency. Usually channels that are consistent do better, right? So for example, if you happen to love my commentary and my live stream, right? So you may be looking forward to watch a live stream again with Mentour Lawyer, but then suddenly on Deep Dive True Crime, instead of a live commentary from Mentour Lawyer, is a young college student talking about a case, reading a script that you're like, oh, what the heck is that? And then the next day is going to be a trial about a robbery that happened 10 years ago that nobody cares about, nobody ever watched. So that's why I basically have 3 different channels, so that I can experiment, so I can do different things, so that I can try different things. I mean, the overall goal is to do well enough on YouTube that it supports the channels, that it allows me to do this stuff that I enjoy and have fun. Because if I wasn't having fun, if I wasn't enjoying this, I mean, obviously it's sad that I'm covering a murder case. I'm going to meet with the Markels tomorrow when they come, and obviously I have strong feelings about empathy and care for them and all this stuff. But the enjoyment that I get is from actually being involved in something like this, helping with the investigation, helping understand the case, helping explain all of this to you guys. So I enjoy that. Hey, that's a good question, Honeybee. I'm just, I guess, a tenacious guy. And so when I go out to the tennis courts today, I knew that there's not going to be a lot of time for soccer and tennis while the actual trial is happening. Like I said, I'm also very busy as a lawyer. But today, the French bull, my friend from Paris who lives here in Tallahassee, texted me and said, hey, are you available to play today? I got a court at 5:30. And I said, I can't do 5:30 because I had something else to do, but I can do now. And this was at 1:30 p.m. And I was thinking to go to the courthouse to watch some of the jury selection. But instead, when he texted me and he says, let's play tennis, I said, now. I said, okay, let's go. So I went to the tennis court at 1, I think we ended up on 2 p.m. under extreme heat. And I played a super match against him. He's amazing. And so we give it all. And we usually outlast all the young people out there that are courageous enough to play the French bull or I on a tennis court. So, I try to give it all to everything that I do. And I try to get some good rest as well. But sometimes rest has to be sacrificed. How will I get up in the morning? I can tell you it's going to be very easy, because my job in my house every morning at 7:30 a.m. or so, that's when my disabled son wakes up. He starts to make the noise, and we have a camera that monitors him, and I can hear his sounds, and he wakes me up every single morning at around 7:30 a.m. So he's my oh shoot. That's how I have to go buy new shirts. Oh my gosh, always dropping stuff. So that's how I wake up. My disabled son wakes me up. He's 23, by the way, but he has very severe developmental delay, so his cognitive age is probably like around 1.5. And he lives with us at home, and he's a very happy boy. But he doesn't talk, he doesn't understand language at all. But he knows me and loves me and smiles every time that I'm with him. Unless he's mad about the video that we're showing him. Yes, he is. CC, thank you for that. Anyway, he has actually been on my channel a couple of times. I usually put him for like an hour or two and then make him private. But he's been around. So some of you have seen him. I know Skitter Girl has seen him for sure. All right, guys, I'm going to go watch that Inter Miami. This video has 8 minutes to go, and I think the highlights are about 8 minutes. So thanks everybody. You know, share my live stream with others, and you know, maybe invite some of your friends if you're watching the trial to come watch it on Deep Dive True Crime, because we need your support, right? We're going to be putting in a lot of money in covering this trial, so so you can help by doing that, by getting other people to watch on Deep Dive True Crime, the channel that really has the most extensive library of materials from this case. It's totally unmatched. And not library of stupid stuff, but library of important stuff. Not library of some old lady getting transported from South Florida to Tallahassee. I mean, it's like, whatever. I mean, if she said anything important, maybe, but come on. Not that. But the arrest video in Miami International Airport, that was very important, and we have that. We have almost everything. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Till next time, Deep Dive True Crime. Nice CBM. All right. Yes, come on, fans. That's true. I gotta admit it. Richard Highbells has been supporting me on Patreon forever. Like I said, he's been a very, very long-term subscriber and supporter. Him and Skitter Girl have been supporting us through Patreon and making all of this possible, including you can thank Richard Highballs and his help and other patrons for allowing me to afford purchasing those videos that nobody gives a damn about, like the trials that nobody wants to watch and all this stuff that you're going to find on my channel. A few people do care, you know, maybe 1,000 views. I can spend 30 minutes doing a video that I purchased of a trial, opening statements. Like there's one, for example, there was a woman who came to Tallahassee from Georgia to engage in prostitution with a guy who ended up killing her and hiding her body in the woods. And I spent money to purchase that trial and his interrogation, by the way. And I published the opening statements, and I don't think it still has, I think it has 900 views still. But, you know, why? I know when I order those trials that not many people are going to watch them. But why do I do it? Because I feel an obligation, because there's some people that are members or that are Patreons that give me a few $100s every month that allow me to purchase some new material. Hey, let's get some new material. So thanks to all of you guys. All right, guys, have a good one. I'm going to go watch Inter Miami. Good night. And thanks for CBC, Zulu, and Alias. I definitely will get that shirt tomorrow. Bye-bye. Come on, let me in the stream. Why is... Oh my gosh, another glitch? Are you serious? I'm pressing end stream and it's not letting me. Like, what is it with the glitches today? Every single computer has glitched. I can't end the stream. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I can't believe it. I've never seen this. Let me see if I can refresh the page. This is crazy. Can't even end the stream. Oh my gosh. I can't believe this. Thank you, honeybee. Why can't I end the stream? Come on, I want to watch some Inter Miami. Oh, come on. The heck? Let's see if I close it and come back. I'm just gonna close this. Let's see. The heck? It's not even letting me close. How is this possible? Oh, I know what happened. It's because I dropped some fluids on this slab, on this thing. I probably messed everything up. Gee. Should I restart the computer? Oh, there we go.
Very serious.